12. Cottage garden perennials. You need to sow in August, zones 3-10. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Earthly Delights. If you're here, I know you share that same spark in your heart, the love for nurturing plants, watching them grow and transforming a patch of soil or a quiet corner of your home into a living, breathing work of art. You're someone who can't walk past a bloom without pausing to admire it, who dreams of a garden that feels like a personal sanctuary. You might be a budget-conscious grower, someone who values plants that return year after year, or maybe you're seeking ways to fill your home and garden with beauty without constant replanting. And here's the thing. August might feel like the tail end of summer, but for seasoned gardeners, it's a secret season of opportunity. Right now, the soil is warm, the days are still long, and we have the perfect window to sow perennials that will reward us with breathtaking displays next year. These aren't just any flowers. They're the kind that bring pollinators to your garden, fill your vases with color, and create that timeless cottage charm. So stay with me, because in this video we're diving into 12 cottage garden perennials you can sow right now in zones 3-10 to set the stage for a spectacular next season. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Earthly Delights so you never miss a tip that could transform your growing space into something magical. Part 1. The romantic clouds and vintage bells. There's a certain magic in flowers that seem to float like mist or chime softly in the breeze. These are the blooms that bring a dreamy, old-world charm to your garden. Delicate baby's breath, airy meadow rue, the stately Canterbury bells, and enchanting foxgloves. They're perfect for softening borders, filling vases, and creating that romantic cottage feel year after year. 1. Baby's breath, Gypsophila paniculata. Clouds of timeless elegance. If you've ever admired a bouquet and noticed that airy cloud-like filler that makes every bloom look more graceful, you've likely met baby's breath. But here's the secret. The perennial variety isn't just for florists, it's a long-term treasure in the garden. Hardy from zones 3-9, it thrives in sunny spots with well-drained soil, forming delicate sprays of tiny white or soft pink flowers that seem to hover in the air. For the home gardener, it's more than just pretty, it's versatile. Tuck it into gaps between roses for that romantic, layered look, or let it spill over stone borders like a gentle froth. Once established, baby's breath asks for little in return, but rewards you for years, returning each summer with renewed abundance. And if you love cut flowers, you can harvest stems all season long, knowing your plant will keep producing. In August, sowing it means it will grow strong roots before winter's rest, ready to burst into clouds of bloom by late spring. It's the kind of plant that quietly transforms a garden, adding softness, movement, and a touch of fairy tale charm. 2. Meadow rue thalictrum. Wisps of grace in the garden. Meadow rue is one of those plants that feels almost ethereal, as if it belongs in a secret garden painting. Its fine, fern-like foliage rises gracefully, top it with airy clusters of flowers that sway with the lightest breeze. Depending on the variety, blooms can range from delicate whites and lavenders to soft yellows, each creating a misty veil of color. Hardy in zones 3-9, meadow rue thrives in partial shade to full sun, making it adaptable for many garden settings, from cottage borders to woodland edges. In August, sowing gives it time to develop a healthy crown and root system before the cold sets in, ensuring it will leap into growth when spring returns. For gardeners who love creating depth and layers, meadow rue is a gem. Its tall, slender form adds vertical interest without feeling heavy or rigid. It pairs beautifully with bold roses or peonies, offering a light counterbalance to dense blooms. And like baby's breath, it's a stunning choice for cut arrangements, lending texture and elegance. Once established, it self-seeds modestly, ensuring gentle drifts of beauty that reappear like a familiar friend each year. 3. Canterbury bells. Campanula medium, chiming color for every corner. Canterbury bells are pure cottage garden charm, upright spires of bell-shaped blooms that seem to ring silently in the breeze. Their classic form and nostalgic feel make them a favorite for gardeners who love old-fashioned elegance. Hardy from zones 3 to 10, These short-lived perennials or biennials thrive in full sun to partial shade, rewarding you with blooms in shades of white, pink, lavender, and deep blue. When sown in August, the plants have ample time to build strong roots and sturdy foliage, ensuring a vibrant display by early summer next year. Bees adore crawling inside the blooms, adding a delightful buzz of life to your borders. They work beautifully in mixed plantings. Weaving them between foxgloves or delphiniums creates a layered tapestry of height and color. Indoors, their long-lasting stems bring a touch of the garden into your home. Canterbury bells are generous seed producers, so once you grow them, you can save seeds or let them self-sow, creating natural drifts year after year. Whether edging a pathway or standing tall in the middle border, these bells add music to the garden, not with sound but with their graceful beauty. 4. Foxglove, digitalis, enchanting spires of the cottage garden. Few plants capture the fairy tale spirit of a cottage garden like the foxglove. With tall, stately spires covered in rows of bell-shaped blooms, they bring vertical drama and an air of enchantment to any border. Colors range from classic pinks and purples to soft creams, apricots, and even speckled throats that look like nature's own artwork. Hardy in zones 3 to 9, foxgloves prefer partial shade, making them ideal for bright woodland edges or spots where the afternoon sun is gentle. Sowing them in August allows seedlings to grow strong foliage and deep roots before winter, ensuring an early summer show next year. Though technically biennial, foxgloves often self-seed freely, creating a self-renewing display that returns year after year with little effort. They pair beautifully with other vertical blooms like delphiniums or with frothy plants like baby's breath for a contrast of textures. Pollinators, especially bees, adore their tubular flowers, often disappearing inside to collect nectar. Whether massed at the back of a border or scattered in romantic clumps, foxgloves are a statement plant, one that whispers of secret gardens, hidden paths, and the timeless beauty of nature. Part 2. The bold spires and dramatic statements. Every great cottage garden needs its showstoppers, those tall, commanding blooms that draw the eye and give structure to the whole scene. These are the plants that stand like sentinels, adding height, drama, and a sense of grandeur. In this part, we'll meet perennials that not only turn heads, but also anchor your garden's design year after year. 5. Hollyhock Alcea rosea, towering icons of cottage charm. Hollyhocks are the quintessential cottage garden giants, rising like floral skyscrapers along fences, walls, or at the back of borders. Their tall spikes can reach impressive heights, covered from top to bottom in generous blooms that come in nearly every color imaginable, from soft pastels to rich jewel tones, and even dramatic near-black varieties. Hardy from zones 3 to 9, they thrive in sunny spots with well-drained soil and a bit of shelter from strong winds. Sowing hollyhocks in August gives them time to form a robust root system and lush basal leaves, ensuring a strong vertical display by midsummer next year. These plants have a knack for self-seeding, often popping up in charming, unexpected places year after year. So once you've planted them, you may enjoy their company for a lifetime. They mix beautifully with climbing roses, delphiniums, or foxgloves, adding depth and a nostalgic feel to any garden. Beyond their beauty, hollyhocks are magnets for bees and butterflies, bringing life and movement to your outdoor space. Whether you choose single blooms for a traditional look or ruffled doubles for drama, hollyhocks never fail to make a statement. 6. Delphinium majestic towers of color. Delphiniums are the aristocrats of the cottage garden, with their dramatic spires of densely packed blooms that can soar up to 6 feet tall. Their colors are truly captivating, especially the rich blues and purples that are rare in the plant world, along with softer pinks, whites, and bicolors. Hardy from zones 3 to 7, they prefer cooler summers and will thank you for a spot with full morning sun and some afternoon shade in hotter areas. August sowing is ideal, giving them time to establish sturdy roots before the winter chill, ensuring they return with vigor in late spring. These beauties are perfect for adding vertical drama behind lower perennials or as a striking focal point in mixed borders. However, they do appreciate a little extra care. Stake them early to protect their tall stems from wind and guard young plants from slugs, which find them irresistible. Delphiniums make exceptional cut flowers, bringing elegance indoors, but they truly shine when mass-planted for that breathtaking, layered effect. For gardeners seeking a plant that blends old-world romance with architectural impact, delphiniums are a must-have, a true centerpiece that commands admiration. 7. Lupin, Lupinus polyphyllus, spires of color and in soil enrichment. Lupines are a gift to both the gardener's eye and the garden's health. Their striking, upright spikes burst with densely packed pea-like flowers in a dazzling range of shades. From deep indigo and magenta to sunny yellows and bicolored combinations. Hardy in zones 4 to 8, they prefer cooler climates and thrive in full sun to light shade, especially in soil that isn't overly rich. One of their hidden talents is their ability to fix nitrogen in the soil, naturally enriching it for neighboring plants. Sowing lupines in August allows them to develop a strong root system before winter, leading to vigorous growth and blooms by late spring. Their bold, palm-shaped foliage adds texture even when not in bloom, making them attractive all season. Lupines are pollinator magnets, drawing in bees, butterflies, and even hummingbirds, creating a lively, buzzing garden scene. They're beautiful in cottage borders, wildflower meadows, or as a dramatic backdrop to softer blooms like foxgloves and columbines. Once established, they can self-seed lightly, ensuring a gentle return year after year, and they look especially magical when planted in sweeping drifts of mixed colors. Part 3. The pollinator magnets and fragrant friends. Some plants don't just look beautiful, they hum with life. These blooms invite bees, butterflies, and even hummingbirds, turning your garden into a living sanctuary. Many carry delightful scents, making them perfect for planting near patios, walkways, or seating areas where you can enjoy both their fragrance and the lively visitors they attract. 8. Anise hyssop, agastache, fragrant spires for pollinator parades. Anise hyssop is a true multitasker in the garden, fragrant, beautiful, and buzzing with life from the moment it blooms. Its tall, slender spikes are packed with tiny flowers in shades of purple, pink, or blue, releasing a subtle anise mint scent when brushed or on warm days. Hardy from zones 4 to 9, it thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, tolerating drought once established. Sowing in August ensures strong roots and healthy foliage before winter, setting the stage for a long blooming season the following summer. This plant is a magnet for pollinators. Bees swarm its nectar-rich blooms, butterflies dance around it, and hummingbirds dart in for quick sips. Beyond its role as a pollinator favorite, anise hyssop also shines in the kitchen. Its leaves and flowers can be used to flavor teas, salads, or even desserts. In the landscape, it's perfect for adding vertical interest to borders or container plantings, pairing beautifully with ornamental grasses and other late summer bloomers. Easy to grow and low maintenance, it's one of those perennials that quietly works hard for your garden's beauty, biodiversity, and even your senses. 9. Lavender, Munstead or Hidcote. Fragrance and elegance. All year, lavender is more than just a plant. It's an experience. With silvery green foliage, fragrant purple flower spikes, and a calming aroma, it brings a touch of the Mediterranean to any garden. Munstead and Hidcote are two of the most reliable varieties for zones 5 to 9, both compact and beautifully suited for borders, edging, or container displays. Sowing or starting lavender in August gives young plants a head start, allowing roots to anchor deeply before winter. By the following summer, they'll reward you with waves of scent and color that attract bees, butterflies, and other beneficial insects. Lavender thrives in full sun and well-drained soil. The drier and sunnier, the better, making it a great choice for low-maintenance gardeners or those in drought-prone areas. Beyond the garden, its blooms can be dried for fragrant sachets, wreaths, or homemade beauty products. Plant it near paths or seating areas where a gentle brush against the leaves will release its soothing scent. Lavender isn't just a visual treat, it's a plant that engages every sense, offering beauty, fragrance, and a warm welcome to pollinators year after year. 10. Sweet William, Dianthus barbatus, jewel-toned clusters with endless charm. Sweet William brings a burst of cheerful color and a touch of vintage charm to the cottage garden. Its flower heads are made up of dozens of small, frilled blooms, often in striking bicolored patterns or rich jewel tones, from deep reds and magentas to soft pinks and whites. Hardy in zones 3 to 9, it prefers full sun and well-drained soil, and while technically a short-lived perennial or biennial, it often self-seeds generously, creating a natural cycle of blooms year after year. Sowing Sweet William in August allows the plants to develop a healthy root system before winter, so they are ready to bloom early in summer. These flowers are loved not only for their beauty, but also for their exceptional vase life, making them a favorite for cut arrangements. They pair beautifully with other fragrant plants like lavender or with taller spires, such as foxgloves and delphiniums. Pollinators, especially bees and butterflies, can't resist them, so they bring a lively hum to the garden. Whether in borders, cottage beds, or containers, Sweet William offers a long-lasting splash of color and a joyful, timeless presence in any growing space. Part 4, the early bloomers and garden bridges. Every garden needs plants that greet the season early, filling the gap between spring bulbs and summer's full display. These perennials bridge that transition beautifully, ensuring your garden never feels bare. They bring soft colors, delicate forms, and a welcome burst of life when winter's chill has only just faded. 11. Columbine, Aquilegia, whimsical blooms for the spring stage. Columbine, with its delicate nodding flowers and unique spurred petals, feels like something from a woodland fairy tale. Available in an array of colors, from deep purples and blues to soft pinks, whites, and bicolored blends, it brings a whimsical touch to the spring garden. Hardy from zones 3 to 9, Columbine thrives in full sun to partial shade and adapts well to various soil types, though it prefers moist, well-drained conditions. Sowing in August allows seedlings to settle in before winter, resulting in stronger plants and earlier blooms next year. One of Columbine's greatest charms is its ability to bridge seasonal gaps. It flowers right after tulips and daffodils fade, carrying the color forward until summer perennials take over. Its nectar-rich blossoms are beloved by hummingbirds, bees, and butterflies, making it a lively addition to wildlife-friendly gardens. Once established, it self-seeds readily, often popping up in new spots to create a naturalized, ever-changing display. Perfect for borders, cottage-style beds, or even containers, Columbine is a light and graceful performer that rewards you with beauty, movement, and a gentle reminder of spring's magic year after year. 12. Forget-me-not, Myosotis sylvatica, a carpet of sky-blue memories. Forget-me-nots are the quiet storytellers of the cottage garden, weaving a soft, sky-blue carpet that lingers in the memory long after the blooms have faded. Hardy from zones 3 to 8, they thrive in partial shade to full sun and adapt easily to most soil types, making them a reliable choice for gardeners of all skill levels. Sowing in August allows seedlings to establish before the cold, ensuring a lush, flower-filled display in early spring. Their dainty blooms appear just as the garden is waking from winter, perfectly complementing taller spring bulbs like tulips, daffodils, and alliums. Forget-me-nots are self-seeding champions, often reappearing in gentle drifts that look as if they've been painted into place by nature herself. They're equally at home lining pathways, filling gaps between perennials, or spilling from the edges of garden beds. Beyond their beauty, they offer a valuable early nectar source for bees and other pollinators. With minimal care, these little blooms will return year after year, creating a sense of continuity and nostalgia. A living reminder that sometimes the smallest flowers leave the biggest impression. Planting the promise of next year's garden. As we've journeyed through these 12 cottage garden perennials, you can almost picture how they'll weave together into a living tapestry. Clouds of baby's breath, the gentle sway of meadow rue, bold hollyhocks standing tall beside fragrant lavender, and carpets of forget-me-nots greeting you in spring. Sowing in August isn't just a gardening task, it's an act of vision. You're planting now for beauty you can't yet see, but will one day step into with awe. For those of you who love gardening as much as we do here at Earthly Delights, you understand it's not only about flowers, it's about the way a garden changes how you feel. The joy of spotting the first bud, the hum of pollinators, the sense of peace that comes from tending something living. And when you choose perennials, you're not just creating a garden for one season, but laying the groundwork for years of color, life, and inspiration. So as summer begins its slow goodbye, take this moment to give your future garden a head start. Pick a few of these perennials, sow them now, and imagine the blooms that will greet you next year. And if you've enjoyed this journey through plants and possibilities, be sure to subscribe to Earthly Delights, where every video is another step toward the garden of your dreams. Your next season starts today.